Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. And today we will be looking at chapter 89, Progress in Spiritual Life. We are two girls from England visiting India. We know little about yoga, and we are here because we were told that spiritual teachers play an important role in Indian life. You are welcome. There is nothing new you will find here. The work we are doing is timeless. It was the same 10,000 years ago. Centuries roll on, but the human problem does not change. The problem of suffering and the ending of suffering. The problem of suffering and the ending of suffering. Yes, there is such a thing as transmission of power from guru to disciple. To insist, to resist are contained in the will to be. Remove the will to be, and what remains? Existence and non-existence relate to something in space and time. Here and now, there and then, which again are in the mind. The mind plays a guessing game. It is ever uncertain, anxiety-ridden, and restless. You resent being treated as a mere instrument of some god or guru and insist on being treated as a person because you are not sure of your own existence and do not want to give up the comfort and assurance of a personality. You may not be what you believe yourself to be, but it gives you continuity. Your future flows into the present and becomes the past without jolts. To be denied personal existence is frightening, but you must face it and find your identity with the totality of life. Find your identity with the totality of life, the impersonal being. Let go of the personal and realize your identity as the totality of consciousness, of life, of love. Then the problem of who is used by whom is no more. It looks as if there are two, the guru and disciple, but the two, look, two hands connected to the same body. They're just two expressions of the one. Everything is an expression of the one. Advaita, not two. In a sense, we could say life is using life. Life is playing with life, creating with life. Only if you look at the personal characters in the movie, in the story, can you speak about, and it does happen, it is necessary because on that relative level, people do use people all the time. So for sure, Nisargadatta isn't saying be a doormat and allow people to use you, but that's at that lower relative level. At the absolute level, when we're talking about gurus and disciples, then there is only one. One love, one life, one humanity, one consciousness, one creation, one expression of God. And of course you are that, because that is all there is. That is all there is. God's love, God's wisdom, intelligence, and grace. All the attention I got was an attempt to convert me to their faith. When I resisted, they lost all interest in me. One does not become a disciple by conversion or by accident. There is usually an ancient link maintained through many lives and flowering as love and trust. without which there is no discipleship. So this is interesting. In this sense, it sounds like he is speaking about reincarnation. Many times, Nisargadatta will say, there is no separate self. There is no reincarnating separate self that goes from body to body, lifetime to lifetime. But here, it sounds as if there is. There's usually an ancient link between guru and disciple, maintained through many lifetimes, and then finally flowering as love and trust. And without love and trust, there can be no discipleship. It can't be based on fear or doubt or shame, because I've seen that as well. What made you decide to become a teacher? I was made into one by being called so. Who am I to teach, and whom? What I am, you are, and what you are, I am. What I am, you are, and what you are, I am. The I am is common to us all. The I am is common to every human being. Every human being who is conscious can say, I am. Beyond the I am, there is the immensity of light and love. Light and love beyond the personal into the impersonal. We do not see it because we look elsewhere. I can only point at the sky. Seeing of the star is your own work. Some take more time before they see the star. Some take less. It depends on the clarity of their vision and their earnestness in search. How badly do you want the truth? And what are you willing to do for it? These two must be their own. I can only encourage, almost like a cheerleader. The guru stays there and says, look, you can do it. I have done it. You can do it. What I am, you are. What you are, I am. In Christianity, it's a quote I like because I used to be Catholic. The saint used to be a sinner, and the sinner one day will be the saint. So these two beings may look very different, but of course, in their essence, they are the same. It just depends, as we are looking at in this chapter, spiritual progress. It only depends at what point you are looking at. So it may look that somebody's very unevolved and a sinner or whatever it is, a bogey instead of a yogi. But if you continue to watch that life, and as Nisargadatta has just said, if we could continue to watch that same element or entity throughout lifetimes, you would see that it grows, it expands, it changes. All of us are being transformed by life all the time. So it makes life so much easier if you accept that and allow that process of transformation to happen. Because if you resist, if you say no, if you try to deny what is, you will suffer. You will suffer. That's just how it is. So much better to go with the flow. Much better to deal with reality. Reality on all levels, whatever that is. Maybe you don't want to go to work today, but that is your reality. So go to work and do your best. So the guru can only encourage, but everybody must clean out their own perception and find that clarity of vision. This is the work we can do on ourselves, looking at our mind, investigating our minds, looking at the desires and the fears, and just being honest. It's very simple. Just be honest. Don't take them so personally. It's just consciousness expressing itself. So just look at desires and fears and motives and intentions. All the gooky stuff, just see it. When you embrace it and bring it into conscious awareness, then it can dissipate, dissolve, and disappear. But if you keep it pushed down, it will cause havoc in your life, and you will not proceed. as far. What am I expected to do when I become a disciple? Every teacher has his own method, usually patterned on his guru's teachings and on the way himself he has realized, and his own terminology or vocabulary as well. Within that framework, adjustments to the personality of the disciple are made. The disciple is given full freedom of thought and inquiry, and encouraged to question to his heart's content. If you have doubts, if you have questions, ask them. The guru knows how to deal with those questions. He must be absolutely certain of the standing and competence of his guru. Otherwise, his faith will not be absolute, nor his action complete. It is the absolute in you that takes you to the absolute beyond you. Absolute truth, love, selflessness are the decisive factors in self-realization. Absolute truth, love, and selflessness are the decisive factors in self-realization. With earnestness, these can be reached. Truth, love, letting go of the personal self, the conceptual self, the private, imaginary self, and being selfless. Love all, serve all. Help ever, hurt never. Do good, be good, see good. Give your life to something greater than just the individual personal desires and fears, in a way. I understand one must give up one's family and possessions to become a disciple. It varies with the guru. Some expect their mature disciples to become ascetics and recluses. Some encourage family life and duties. Most of them consider a model family life more difficult than renunciation, suitable for a personality more mature and better balanced. At the early stages, the discipline of monastic life may be advisable. Therefore, in the Hindu culture, students up to the age of 25 are expected to live like monks, in poverty, chastity, and obedience. Poverty, chastity, and obedience. To give them a chance to build a character, able to meet the hardships and temptations of married life. Who are the people in this room? Are they your disciples? Ask them. It is not on the verbal level that one becomes a disciple, but in the silent depths of one's being. You do not become a disciple by choice. It is more a matter of destiny than self-will. You do not become a disciple by choice. It is more a matter of destiny than self-will. Can you choose who you fall in love with? No. When it happens, it's like lightning. Your heart just opens to another being. So that could be a romantic partner, or it could be a guru. When you come across your guru, their words, like Nisargadatta, when I first read I Am That 20 years ago or something, I read his words and they just entered me. There was nothing inside of me that was resistant to his words. His words were truth. I just felt it. They resonated with me. And I loved him right away. I loved what he was at his essence. So I didn't choose to become his disciple. Not that I really call myself a disciple. I just love him. And I love what he is at his essence, which is Parabrahman. Truth, love, wisdom, the cosmic force, God. It does not matter much who is the teacher. They all wish you well. All true gurus wish you well. They only want to free you of suffering. A true guru only wants to bring you to yourself. A true guru will never try to estrange you from yourself. They will always be pointing you back to the love inside, the wisdom inside, to the kingdom of heaven within. It is the disciple that matters, his honesty and earnestness. The right disciple will always find the right teacher. Frequencies, energy, they find each other. So if you have a low frequency, you'll probably attract a low teacher. But if you have a very high frequency, you will attract a high teacher. So that's, again, this chapter is all about spiritual progress, spiritual development, getting closer to that truth that you want. So it's up to you. As within, so without. As above, so below. But whatever is inside of you, that is why it's your work to cleanse yourself, to purify yourself, and to do the work that needs to be done. And it's different for everybody. You need to look into your life and be very honest. What is my life about? You know, who am I as a human, as a partner, as a child, as a parent, as an employee, whatever it is that you're doing in your life? How much honesty is there? How much truth? How much integrity? How much authenticity? How much love? How much ego? How much humility? How much giving? How much taking? Just be honest. Just be honest. But do the work. And when you feel the heart's calling to do something, it might be a spiritual practice. Maybe it's Tai Chi or yoga. If you feel that, don't resist that. Go with that flow as well. Because the body can affect the mind and vice versa. There is a connection of everything. Or if you just feel to be silent and still and to sit, then honor that as well. Honor whatever your heart is drawing you to. The heart always knows the truth. And if you pray, pray for the highest and the best. God, God, show me the highest. Show me the highest truth, the truest truth. Because there are a lot of half-truths out there. So what is real? What is reality? What is true? Keep asking that. Keep searching for that. That which is inside and that which is outside. What is true? What is this all about? Who am I? What is this? God, what are you? What is reality? Ask and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. Go higher and higher, expanding, expanding in love and light and truth. And the more you commit to your spiritual practice, the ego, it's just seen for what it is. Remember, the brain creates a sense of self. That is ego. The brain creates a sense of self. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just the way it appears to be. That this physical body creates a sense of self. Why? Because it believes it needs to protect itself from the world, from wild animals in the jungle, or from Wall Street and the stock investors or something. No. So a healthy sense of ego, a light sense of self, that happens as well. That can be beneficial as well. Or no self. You know, the ego will tell you, you need me, but you don't actually. And there are many people online that will, that are examples of that. People who have lost the self, where that process isn't happening anymore. The self, the ego collapses. The ego disappears. And they are functioning sometimes, most of the time, I would say even better, maybe 10 times better, because there's no more desire, fear, no more self-concern, no more selfishness. And there is a clarity of thinking, clarity, a flow, an ease, a grace. There's a harmony with what is. So let go and let God. It doesn't matter which words we put to this process. It's the process itself that matters. However you want to define it or speak about it, just do it, right? So some days you will feel that it's more about being, and some days you'll feel that it's more about doing. And that's just the play in the dualistic experience. It's a being and becoming, a being and a doing, sometimes no doing. Don't be too rigid. Just allow life to unfold as it will. And to always be aware that the awareness is prior. The awareness is watching anything that can change. The awareness is prior to that change. So there is something about us that is changeless, birthless, and deathless. This pure awareness, the witness, that which is watching, perceiving, awareing, as Adyashanti says. It's the space that's always here. And then there's the content of the space, the changing consciousness, the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, the movement, the time, the space. And just like the body, of course, starts with the sperm and the egg, right? And then it goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 6, blah, blah, blah. And it's still growing. It's still expanding, right? From the baby to the child to the adult. So that's just part of life. There's always, hopefully, progression and growth and expansion, evolution of consciousness. Hopefully, you are not the same person that you were when you were 10, 15, 20, 25. Hopefully there is an increasing maturity, realization, wisdom, intelligence. Some people talk about mastery, but I think that's a little too much. But anything is possible. There's so much variety and difference in this world. Maybe you are a martial artist, so maybe there is a sense of mastery of something. Great. Or maybe you're a world famous opera singer and there's a mastery of the human voice, a mastery of the mind. I can see the beauty and feel the blessedness of a life devoted to search for truth under a competent and loving teacher. Unfortunately, we have to return to England. Distance does not matter. Look at Nisargadatta. He's not even in the body anymore, and yet he's still helping people. Same with Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi has been showing up into people's lives as a physical entity, as a vision. And he's not even in the body anymore. Jesus, for 2,000 years, has been doing this, appearing to people. So distance, time, space, none of that matters because everything is already here. Everything is one ocean of consciousness, one ocean of being, one ocean of divine reality. It's here. It's now. It's in your heart. It is your essence. If everything is one, then there's no distance to oneness. You are oneness. You are reality. You are divine. If your desires are strong and true, they will mold your life for their fulfillment. Sow you seed and leave it to the seasons. I think that should be sow your seed and leave it to the seasons. Jesus also said this: what you reap or what you sow, you will reap. You reap what you sow. So what you do, what your intentions are, coming back to the thoughts, to the prayers, to the intentions, to the motivations. What do you really want? And as the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. If you say, yes, I want truth, and then you go and do a bunch of false things or whatever that means to you, you will not progress. You can't fool truth. You can't fool reality. The ego can be very sneaky sometimes, or all the time. So that's why you have to have this integrity inside of your heart. And if you don't have integrity, that's okay too. Admit that, and that's the first step in getting integrity. Being honest with yourself. I'm not earnest. Maybe I don't want truth. Maybe I don't want to be good all the time. That's okay too. Just be honest. Very simple. But at points in your life, you will have to make a choice. Do you want to be truthful? Do you want to be honest or dishonest, loving or unloving? There's always a moment where we are tested. It looks like we are being tested in life. We're being asked, do you want the next level? Do you want the next level? Or do you want to stay here? Are you happy with the status quo? Are you happy being a person? Maybe you are. Are you happy being contracted and limited? Maybe you are. But at some point, maybe it's after a period of many lifetimes, the desire, the true desire for truth, for reality, for knowing what you are, for being what you are, for realization, for enlightenment, for union, whatever it is, however you want to say it, it will arise. As Gandhi said, love and truth always win. Desires and fears have their life for a while, their time. But eventually, it is inevitable that love and truth and God, whatever words you want to use again to express it, they win because they are true. It's only the false which needs to be protected and fought for and manipulated. That which is true, the sun, I mean, look at the sun shining. It is true. It doesn't need anything. It is winning, if you want to put it that way. The space, it is true. But everything that comes and goes, like this body, like these thoughts, feelings, like the false, abstract, conceptual self, they need protection and fighting for. Because they're false, they know that they will end. So go deeper than that. Go deeper. Go deeper. Find that within you, which is always present, that does not begin, it does not end. It is eternal. It is eternal. What are the signs of progress in spiritual life? Freedom from anxiety, no more fear, no more self-concern, a sense of ease and joy, grace, flow, peace. A deep peace within and abundant energy without. Deep peace within and abundant energy without. The desires and the fears of the mind, they dissolve and they disappear. And if they still appear, they are seen through. They are seen to be empty. So they don't have any hold or power over you. How did you get it? I found it all in the holy presence of my Guru. I did nothing on my own. Grace, God's grace. He told me to be quiet, and I did it as much as I could. He told me to be quiet, listen to silence. Spend your time listening to silence, being aware of awareness, sensing the stillness of space. Space, awareness, vast, silent, and still. Melt, melt, dissolve, disappear. As Papaji told Muji, if you want reality, you must disappear. The seeker must go. This false sense that the brain is creating, this sense of self, it must be seen through. It's the illusion. Once it is seen through, it drops away, the energetic contraction relaxes and expands, and all there is left is nothing. Nothing appearing as everything, the absolute appearing as the relative. Emptiness, space, the void, no self, no person, no ego, only peace, truth, love, reality, the supreme, the absolute, the one, the one. You are that. You are that. You are that. As Nisargadatta said, I found it all in the holy presence of my Guru. I did nothing on my own. He told me to be quiet, and I did it as much as I could. We do all the work that we can, the psychological work and the meditation and the spiritual practice and the sadhana. And we keep looking in the self-inquiry. But in the end, we get to the edge, and then it's God's grace, the grace of the Parabrahman, which allows that expansion, that dissolution of self to occur. Amazing grace, how sweet. I haven't sung that in a long time. Amazing grace. I was blind, but now I see. I was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a self like me. I once was blind, but now. That's okay. You get the point. God's grace, amazing grace, amazing grace. Surrender to that grace. I am, 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 I am. Prior to the words I am, I am. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you, Nisargadatta Maharaj. Thank you, Parabrahman. Thank you, God. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, divine. Thank you, oneness. Thank you, love, truth, and light. Thank you, reality. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you again for another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am Back.